Gotham, a crazy podcast about DC, with your hosts E-Rock and PD. When we speak up, get your geeks up, cause you know you about to get geeked up. So sit back, relax, and get comfy. Lose your mind like Solomon Grundy, and listen to a show that won't be forgotten, coming straight out of Gotham.
And hello, everyone out in the DC universe. Welcome to another episode of Straight Outta Gotham, episode 126. We are a fandom pop culture podcast and a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by BatmanOnFilm.com. Make sure you check out all the other great shows on our network by heading on over to BOF and clicking that podcast drop down and giving everyone an ear to lend, because they do some great things, and I think you should be paying attention to these wonderful, talented people that are taking the time out of their wonderful days to provide you with some amazing content. So head on over to BOF and check that stuff out. I am your co-host for the other side of the Hudson River, a senior contributor to Batman on Film. I am Peter R. Vera, and today we're recording on August 20th, 2023, and I'd like to remind you, all of our faithful listeners, if you take the time to review the show on Apple Podcasts and we read your review on air, you won our monthly Straight Outta Gotham prize pack, so make sure you get those reviews in. And now let me get to my favorite part of the show, your favorite part of the show, the introduction of the one, the only, the 1975 jellyfish chucking champion of West Comac, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Holzman.
Hello there. How you doing,
I had
Pete?
no idea you were jellyfish proof. Like you just can't get stung. It's incredible.
Well, I can.
But you just work. It
yeah,
doesn't affect you.
Doesn't affect me.
Is it because you're part aqua?
It is, actually. It is.
So do you have some jelly in your fish?
I guess. I don't know why it's like their defense, but it doesn't bother me.
Really?
So no one ever has to pee on me to get a jellyfish sting.
Is that how that works?
That's what they say. They say if you get stung by a jellyfish, someone could pee on the urine. Someone's urine will help.
All the great baseball players used to pee on their hands to create callus, so they wouldn't get blisters.
Oh, see.
So,
see, guys, the more you know. This is the more you know segment of the show.
Yeah.
But yes.
Today's topic: urine, brought to you by Depends.
But yeah, no, that's true though. The jellyfish thing, with the urine. I forgot who told me that, and then it came up. I don't know who I was talking to recently, and it came up again.
Probably Steve Irwin before he died.
Oh yeah,
you hang out in those circles.
He could be a little ornery at times.
Are you more of a? Would you call yourself a jellyfish hunter, or are you just?
I actually don't like them.
Really?
Yeah.
You ever eat one?
Not a fan. No, never eaten.
I've eaten them. It's interesting. It kind of tastes like I'm eating bubble wrap.
How do you prepare it?
I didn't prepare it. I had it at a Japanese buffet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it looked. It just. I don't know. It was so weird. It looked just like bubbles, and then I felt like I was chewing like bubble wrap.
It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it would be appetizing, but
it's definitely not. It definitely didn't look how I thought it would look. I was like, wow. Okay.
You guys should have saw Pete's face just then. That was funny.
Yeah. So this is what jellyfish looks like. Okay. Like I'd never really gotten close to one. So.
But what did it taste?
There was no taste. It was weird. It wasn't like a sauce on it or anything. So it was just the fish, and it was actually kind of flavorless. Okay. It was, but it was the weird. It was the first time I really didn't like something because of texture. I was like, this just feels weird. You know, like that's never a complaint of mine unless I'm eating a jellyfish.
I don't like caviar because of the texture. So
really,
yeah, kind of gross.
I can't remember the last time actually. I mean, you hang out with a lot of socialites. So I mean, caviar.
In my younger years, I spent a lot of time in the Hamptons.
Yeah, I'm more of a French onion dip. But Eric's more of a caviar, so that's how that goes. Can I get the Fritos? Eric's like, caviar, please.
Oh God. If only any of that were true, but yeah.
You act like you don't have personal private access to Jim Dolan's backyard pool.
No, I don't. I did try and Well, this was a long time ago, but
He's like, nope, I've listened to your podcast.
my friends, me and a couple of my friends, we found out where Diddy's house was when we went. This was in like the early 2000s. We found out where Diddy's Hampton's house was.
You mean Puff Daddy?
Yeah, and we tried to get into one of the parties he was throwing. Because we figured there's just so many people there, they wouldn't know. Like they would just get in. Yeah, we did not get in.
How far did you get?
We got my friend. His family has money, so he had a what's that called? He had a Porsche. So he was like, oh, he goes, well, I'll just drive. We'll take the Porsche, and that way it'll look like we belong. So I was like, all right. So we're all dressed up, and we all had like suits on, and we looked nice, presentable. And we get out the car, and we walk towards the gate where the entrance was, and the security got like, these guys are massive. They're like huge bouncers, just these big, huge guys. So we just kind of like, they weren't stopping anyone. Like people were just walking in. So we're like, we'll just walk in too. So we walk, and we get past the first crew, and we're like, oh right, we made it in. We're gonna get closer. So we actually started seeing people now. Like we started to see the people, and we're going.
So are you in the house?
No, because it's this big walkway into the house, and then
you're past the front gate.
Yes, we're past the front gate, but the front gate to the house, not like the front gate to the driveway, which was massively long to begin with.
So you didn't even get to the driveway yet?
No, we did.
Okay.
This was the front gate to where the house begins.
Right. Yeah, you're on the front lawn essentially.
Yes. Yeah. Basically, we were, because there was like these fountains and stuff, and you're walking through the lawn.
Yeah, because who doesn't have fountains?
So we're walking through, and then we see like the real security people now. Like,
and what are they checking IDs?
No, they're not checking IDs, but you could tell they're like paying attention to the people walking in. And
so okay, so they're not checking IDs. They're not like checking invitations. So how do you guys get had?
How do you guys get caught? I'm getting to it. I'm getting to that. So we start walking, and I was like, I saw there's like this little pathway to the right. So I was like, let's go that way, because there were people over there. So like we start walking to that side. We're like, all right, fine. And my one friend's like, nah, I'll keep going straight. I'm like, all right, so we'll walk this way. So he walks. They start talking to him at the thing, and I'm like, crap. And I'm like, we're going to get it through because we didn't get stopped. Like, we keep walking. And all of a sudden, like, these guys come out of nowhere. They just stand there. And he was like, how you guys doing? And we're like, we're cool. We're just trying to get back in the party. We said we were in it already. Like we're coming back. We just stepped out for a bit. We're coming back into the party. And the guy he starts laughing. And he goes, you guys they're not in this party. And we're like, what do you mean we're not in the party? Yes, we are. So he was like, nah, man, you're not. So I was like, crap. So, because I was like, come on, just let us in. I'm like, we're not going to do anything. I'm not going to take pictures. I'm not going to do any, I'm not paparazzi. I don't want any. I just wanted to go in. We thought it'd be fun. And he was like, we really appreciate the attempt. But he's like, yeah, we can't just let you in. That's not cool. Mr. Combs, he's like, Mr. Combs would be upset. And I'm like, you mean Puffy? Because he was still Puffy at the time. So he was like, you mean Puffy? And he goes, oh, what? Because you know his name is Puffy? You think we're going to let you in now? I was like, no, but Mr. Combs.
Who says that? Yeah.
We all know who he is. So yeah.
That's funny.
So then we wound up leaving, and we just wound up going to some other beach party. But yeah.
In your suits.
It was, yeah. Well, no, I mean, we took off our jackets and ties then, and just kind of.
That's fine.
But
you gave it a shot.
Yeah, we did. We did give it a shot. Because one of my friends actually used to be a DJ out there, and he made like mixtapes and stuff. So he kind of knew some of the people inside the party, but even they couldn't get us in. So because we were calling them afterwards, we're like, come on. But no.
You guys should just rolled up with them to begin with.
I know. But so there's the story I wasn't planning on telling, but there's a story
that's it
for our fans.
Just one of the entries in my one of my various books about Eric's life. The Secret Party Life of Eric Holzman, Suitin', Bootin', and Straight Tootin'. That's the name of that book.
What? We have to work on the name. I don't like that name.
Rights have been sold.
Well, I'm gonna fight it then. I don't want that.
Oh, I'll see you in court. There you go.
Well, let's move to some reality, to the future, to now, actually. So this weekend, as we know, Blue Beetle finally is here. It came out. The movie that started as a HBO Max film, but got switched to a theatrical release.
It was either that or it was not going to be released.
Yeah, pretty much. So then it came out this weekend. Came out Friday. We both actually have seen it. I gave my mini review on our Facebook group, but go ahead, Pete. You tell us what you thought of Blue Beetle.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it had a lot of emotion involved in it. I really liked the family aspect. I enjoyed that. I did not. I don't think that the complaints about the villain are a big deal. Because it's like they're just kind of like a throwaway. You know, it's just the movie's about more than just the villain. The villain, it's kind of like what they do with Black Adam, right? Like the villain's kind of disposable. I like the action. The CGI was good. Lots of laughs. George Lopez crushed it. He was great. The grandmother was hysterical. She reminded me of my own grandmother at times, so that was great. I really dug it. I liked all the Easter eggs and everything. It was just fun. My only negative about the movie, honestly, was Jenny Cord. I thought the actress did a horrible job. I just didn't believe her. She's kind of like the Megan Fox to Transformers. That's kind of the vibe I got. She's hot, she's attractive, and she's a little romance for to kind of tie it all together between the Cords and the Reyes. And Jaime, well, not just the Reyes, but Jaime. But yeah, I guess the Reyes in general, because she was a big part of the family. She really interacted with him a lot.
All right. Yeah, like I said, I gave a little mini review the other day when I saw it. I got lucky enough that I could go early on Thursday, so I did. I made the first show that I could get to, just so I can see it myself before anyone else saw it. And yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I think it has a lot of heart for all the reasons you stated as well. The family aspect is great. It does shine a light on the Latin culture. There's a lot of elements of that in here as well, which makes sense. Obviously, he's a Latin character, and then the director he's also Latin, so it made a lot of sense.
I enjoyed that part. Like I like between this and like Ms. Marvel, I really enjoyed like the ethnic aspects.
Right.
Like because it kind of reminds me of my own family. Like my family's just very Italian, so like to see his, I was like, hey, our grandmothers are pretty much the same, aside from the wielding machine gun parts. But like,
that was fantastic. I mean, you're right about her. She was great. George Lopez was great. Zolo, really, this is such a different level of him from what I saw him in Cobra Kai to this. I think that was something that I was kind of concerned about. Can he carry a film of this?
He's very charismatic.
Yeah, and he was excellent. He really was good. So I was happy to see that he was able to pull it off. Jenny didn't bother me. I mean, she wasn't the greatest. She's not the greatest actress, but I thought she did okay. She was fine. The one actress who did bother me and has bothered me for a while now is Susan Sarandon. I don't.
Oh, we got a new beef. New beef.
She is terrible. And it's a fall from grace because she used to be really good.
I thought she honestly, like, I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I thought throughout the movie she was playing like a drunk CEO billionaire. Like, she just always seemed like a little tipsy to me.
I don't think that was the intent of the character.
Then she's not a good actress anymore.
But no, it was. She just has every scene she's in is just lifeless. Like she sucks the air out of every single scene she's in, and it's just not pleasant to watch.
I think the actress who played Jenny did a worse job, and I noticed that way more because I read your comments online about Susan Sarandon, so I was like, oh, okay, let's see what this is about. But then I was like, I don't know, she just looks drunk to me, and I was like, but this other girl is just so cringe. I was like, you were hired for a made-for-TV movie.
I don't know.
She could be actually a legit actress, but she just felt like she was just eye candy.
She wasn't. I mean, I'm not saying she was good, but I thought she played her role the way it should be played. Like I didn't take away from the film.
She seemed way more dry and lifeless than Sharon Stone or Susan Sarandon. Right. Should have been Sharon Stone.
Yes, it should have been. We were talking about that before we got on air, but yes, Sharon Stone was originally cast to play the Victoria Cord part, and Did you stay for the end credits?
Both of them.
Okay. It's kind of. I mean, obviously, we don't know what's going to happen, but
I don't know, but I want to tell you
Yeah.
something. Like, I loved how the movie connected the Blue Beetle history, like past and present, like the Scarab and Ted Cord, and how it combined the two of them. I thought that was great. I don't know much about Jaime Reyes aside from like what they told me in Injustice, the video games. So, like he's still a relatively new character to me. Like I only oh man, I don't think I read too much. I don't think I read too much Ted Cord Blue Beetle either, to be really honest. Like it's not like there's just not a character like I just gravitate towards. So like I don't know much about them, but I was really impressed with how they did the whole balance of past and present. And then, like you said, the post credit scene where he was like, "Oh, all they had to do was turn the goddamn computer on." They would have known this all along. But I hope it goes somewhere. I don't know if this movie will actually be adopted into the DCU. They say it's a part of it. They say it wasn't. All this other jazz. So we'll figure it out. But it's certified fresh from Rotten Tomatoes. So. Hopefully this just maybe this is our DC's Iron Man.
Well, it was 100. I mean, they're definitely. I mean, watching the movie, that you do get that kind of connection to the Iron Man connection, right?
Watching this movie, I got connections to like Amazing Spider-Man 2, Black Adam, Shazam, Iron Man, and Venom. Like that's what I thought. Like when he's in Cord Industries, that just looks like straight out of Amazing Spider-Man 2. When he goes, or is it Amazing Spider? No, it's 2.
The first one. The first one.
It's first one. Yeah. So it's Amazing Spider when he goes into Oscorp. That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
So like that to me, I was like, did they just steal the scene?
Yeah.
He goes into the front desk, and then Venom, obvious for the obvious reasons of the body takeover and everything like that, and the family was for Shazam, and then Black Adam just because it's like the villain doesn't matter. It's just a straight like kind of roller coaster ride.
Yep.
With like little plot points here and there, but like it I don't know. This is a really good CBM to end the summer on.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like it's a very fun movie, and like you said, if you have a strong family dynamic, there's a lot to relate to because that's what this is about. The movie's very much about family, not like Fast and the Furious style family, but just family.
Like actual family.
Yeah, like actual real family. So I hope if you guys, and I said this on my review, if you guys haven't seen it or weren't planning to see it, give it a shot. Honestly,
I think you should. Easter eggs are good too.
Yep, there are some good Easter
eggs. There's some good like signage. What did you think of this city? This city seems so futuristic.
Yes, Palmyra City. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it almost seemed like Batman Beyond with like in Miami.
It was, yeah.
It's definitely Florida, right? We're definitely in Florida. Like they're definitely Keys.
Yeah, well, that's what she says. Like it's the Keys. They're in the Keys. So it's if it's not actual Florida, it's a take obviously on.
You've
Florida.
been there because you once held the title of champion of Florida for numerous years.
No, I never did. I lived there. I lived there for a little while.
And you were not the champion?
I was not the champion.
Okay.
No.
Apparently, peninsulas aren't good enough for Holzman.
No.
Only islands. What a snooty bastard he can be sometimes. Peninsulas. I don't do peninsulas. Sorry. Islands only.
I hated Florida. But
the third island boy over here.
I had no idea who the hell they were until you sent me that video that day.
Island boys with a wigwam and a tattoo hair.
I was like, what the hell am I watching?
Dude, the Island boys.
So
that's Eric Curry. He's in Miami.
Anyway, you brought up the Easter eggs, and the director Angel Manuel Soto talked about it with Collider and Steve Weintraub, who is awesome. But yeah, they talked about it, and he also talked about casting all the Mexican cast. And so what did you think of the article, by the way, the interview?
I thought it was good. I mean, I love Frosty. I think Frosty does a great job. He's one of the real few, I would say, like just honest to God, just nerd journalists as opposed to just being like
fantastic.
He's definitely one of us. I enjoyed it, and I just like I've read a couple articles from this director, and I could just feel the guy's like passion through each word. Like you could tell, like this meant something to him to get all these guys together, in this Mexican cast to produce the first Latino superhero. Like he is so happy to actually get this thing from HBO Max to the silver screen. No, I loved it. It was great, and the Easter eggs, from things like, and these are some of the things like I read, like there's a box of Oreos there, and he like chuckles, and it's like, okay, so that's a Martian Manhunter Easter egg, like somewhere in the I don't know, the bug's nest or whatever it's called, wherever Ted Cord's lair is, and there's LexCorp signs, there's Daily Planet sign, like that's why I mentioned like how the city looks futuristic, and it's kind of like what they did in Man of Steel, like LexCorp has a truck, Wayne Satellite, blah blah blah, like those are things that to me that's like a wink wink nod that I really appreciate, not the ones where they just stuff it in your face, like that's something I can appreciate more. And I dug it because I was talking to Haas on the way in, like on the way home after I saw this movie, and it's like this movie is almost standalone. Like, yeah, there's a greater world out there. There's Batman, there's Superman, but like it's name only, right? We know there's a Metropolis, but like this is pretty much a standalone movie that's connected to everything, almost in the light of, let's say, Shazam 1, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. Like, yeah, it's connected to a universe. You figure out which one, like you figure out what's connected to or whatnot, and you can have that. But like, the movie doesn't need it. It's weird. It's almost like a standalone movie, even though there is a lot of connection in there and a lot of history.
Yeah, I mean, he even went to Gotham Law School, right? You see, he's wearing that the pullover it says Gotham Law on it. I mean, so that was cool too. Yeah, there's
Rudy mentions that several heroes from their specific cities, so it's like we know about these guys, and the original Blue Beetle was the original hero of what was the name?
Palmyra City.
Palmyra City. Originally it's and he was like but he had personality, like Batman was a fascist, like everyone got mad at that line, but within the context of the movie, it's just another. I mean, Lopez just crushed another joke,
right? I mean, he's like you see how he's like as a character in the movie.
Yeah, so he's your crazy drunk uncle.
Right, you get to understand why he said that. I know everyone freaked out when that line came, and I was like, "Come on, guys!" It was a little crazy. There's also some cool things in here, like the Nintendo Power Glove.
Oh my god! I didn't even mention the Haas. I saw that and I was like,
"Yeah,
that's awesome." And how Millie was able to use it. Yeah, I thought that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like once they finally get into Blue Beetle, and the layer, I guess I would call. I don't know what it's called, but
I called it the Bug's Nest.
Yeah, that's fine. The Bug's Nest.
What did Millie spray paint on the front of the Beetle? I couldn't read it. I didn't have my glasses with me in the theater.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Someone can tell me after this is posted, please, because I can't remember it, and I'm probably not going to be able to see this movie again until next weekend or the weekend after because I got to catch Ninja Turtles.
But yeah, she did. She spray paint something when she first.
She spray painted something, and I was like, did she like spray paint the front of it blue? And I was like, oh no, she had like some kind of like graffiti style art, and I was like, I can't read that. I think it was Spanish.
It was in Spanish, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the whole having the history with Ted and explaining how the Scarab came to be and what like it's a very, if you didn't know the character before, you have a really good idea.
It's a good history lesson for Blue Beetle.
Yeah,
he was kind of like he was a poor man's Batman. That's what's kind of cool. I kind of felt, whereas like I always make fun of my buddy Connor because I always tell him Green Arrow is a fake Batman. And Denny O'Neil like copied it to a T to a point. Like he had an arrow cave and everything. Like he was for a period of time. Like,
money.
It was kind of funny. Like, this is kind of a poor man's Batman. He was a scientist, but like he was a little bit more clunky. He wasn't as, let's say, sleek and stylish as Batman. I really enjoyed that stuff a lot more. I really enjoyed the movie a lot more because it included that stuff. I didn't think that was going to be in there. There was way more Ted Kord in this movie than I ever thought there was going to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of Ted Kord in this. I mean, obviously his name is all over it because of the company, and so his name is there. But yeah, there's a lot more of that Ted
and there's
Kord.
There's a lot of like dads. Dads are a big part of this.
Yes,
the Ted Kord, Jenny, Jaime, his father. Like the fathers are a big part of this.
Yes, very, very much so. So definitely, guys, go check it out. Let us know what you thought. It really is a feel good film. It's different in that regard. I keep reading people say, "Oh, it's like every other comic movie." I don't agree with that. Yes, the beats are there because they have to be, because that's what you expect from a comic book movie. But the story itself is different in a lot of ways. So definitely go check it out and let us know what you think, because I don't I mean, I think it only made.
It was kind of cool getting an OMAC in a movie. I will say that it wasn't how I thought OMAC should look, but I appreciate the effort. That it was a lot better than coming up with something. I'm not mad that I'm not mad about it. I kind of got the idea, and I'm not. The look could have used a little work, but I think that's really it. I don't have many complaints about this movie, really.
Yeah, I it's a really, like we were just talking about, there's a lot of DC stuff in this, and it lets you know that yes, this is obviously it's a DC property, but again, it's just a really good family movie.
And how do you say Jaime's real name? He's fantastic.
Zolo.
Zolo.
Yeah,
that kid crushed it, man.
Yeah,
like from the opening scene, like he's great head of hair too. Oh, he's so charismatic. He really is. Like I really hope this goes somewhere and gets a sequel, and we see him pop up somewhere down the line because I have fun with it. I really enjoy this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, and like I think for me too, because I didn't know much about him, I was paying much more close attention, I guess, to things because I wanted to make sure I was getting everything.
Pay attention to the opening credits because there's a lot of newspaper clippings.
Yes.
I took my eye off the screen for 1 second when I missed something that I want to go back and see. So, pay attention to the opening credits. Yeah.
I didn't think of that, but you're right. It's kind of like what they did in The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah,
right?
A little bit. Yeah. Yes, sir. Correct. Yeah. I'll give you that. That's a good pull.
So yeah, so it's similar, guys. So if you think that's what we're talking about, you're gonna go check. If you're gonna go check it out, you're gonna get information.
Yeah, make sure you get there on time.
Yeah,
don't want to miss the opening credits.
Yes. All right. So I believe the next superhero movie coming up is The Marvels, which I know
I'm excited
really
for.
Waiting to see.
Dude, Holzman's really rubbed off on me with this because I'm telling you, I wasn't excited for it, but once I got that Holzman on me, I can't stop talking. I'm really pumped for this. I can't wait to see what Kamala does because she has no clue what she's in store for.
Yeah, she's definitely the element I'm looking forward to seeing. Sorry, more than the other ones because I know she's the youngest and she's the kid, and I really liked Ms. Marvel, so I'm really looking forward to see how she plays with both the other two characters, Photon, right, and then of course Captain Marvel. So it's gonna be fun to see that. But Nia DaCosta.
I think, dude, Brie Larson is actually going to be perfect for this role. I think her RBF and her horrible charisma are perfect for what this movie's supposed to be.
Well, we'll see. I think you are going to get 3 distinctly different personalities, though, which is probably good. In this one, so it'll be nice to see them play off each other. But Nia DaCosta is the director, and she recently spoke about the movie and she addressed superhero fatigue and why the Marvels is different and will not be impacted by that. And she says the biggest difference from other MCU movies to date is that it's really wacky and silly. Now, I thought that was a little bit of a funny comment since we just got Ant-Man Quantumania, but okay.
You thought that was wacky and silly?
Yes.
I don't think so.
You don't think the inside the quantum realm was wacky and silly? You didn't think that?
No, I thought it was more strange. I wouldn't say wacky. And She-Hulk, I think, is wacky and silly. I don't think Ant-Man was wacky and silly. She-Hulk
was wacky and silly because of how they shot it.
Yeah, well, that's regardless. Wacky and silly is wacky and silly. It just is. But like, I maybe I have to give it a rewatch. But odd maybe, yeah, but not wacky. Yeah, I don't know.
So she continues to say the worlds we go to in this movie are worlds unlike others you've seen in the MCU, bright worlds that you haven't seen before. Again, Asgard. I mean, we've seen those before. But anyway, she's trying to sell her film, so I get it.
Well, she probably hasn't watched all 20 movies.
That's possible too. That's very possible too. But yeah, so I don't know if I agree with her assessment of it, but I do think that I'm looking forward to it. One of the reasons I'm looking forward to is because of her. I liked Candyman. It wasn't great, but I did enjoy it. She directed that. Little Woods 2. That was a good movie as well. So I'm excited that she's helming this. It's going to be fun to see. But
dude, wacky and silly is what really gets me interested, because I can kind of get that with Kamala, and I can kind of see how Kamala can add some kind of silliness and wacky, like overjoyous fangirl in her, like, her dream element. Like, obviously, I imagine that would invoke some craziness. But like, I am so, after the trailer and seeing them like basically kind of like swap spots, it just really worked for me from the get go.
Yeah.
And, I'm definitely more into this because of Ms. Marvel than I am Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the
Ms. Marvel did a thing, and while I don't think that's a comedy, I think maybe the MCU taking a shot at this is like old school MCU, where they say, let's take a superhero movie and let's like put it in a genre. Like, let's take Captain America and put him in like political drama. Then you get
right.
Winter Soldier, right? Like, this feels kind of MC. Like, let's take the Marvels and let's kind of put him in a slapstick comedy. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm getting at. And I think this is kind of old school MCU back to what they were doing at their best, right? Like, so that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, and that's why I'm really kind of pumped for it.
Yeah, I wasn't at first when they had this concept. I'm like, they're gonna just stuff it too much, but all the trailers I've seen have been really good. So, and I'm interested to see the relationship between Carol and Monica, because obviously she's grown up now, right? So it's going to be interesting to see their relationship in this one and how it is.
We've got a lot of Monica. Like, we saw,
yeah.
we've seen a lot
Obviously
of
in
Monica.
WandaVision, she was in WandaVision, had a big role in that.
We've seen her grow up.
Yeah, so
It's kind of weird. We have, you thought it was Spider-Man who you kind of like watch grow during the MCU, but it's really kind of been Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
From a little girl to adulthood.
So yeah, so that's coming in November 12th, I think. November 12th it opens. So I'm sure a lot of people out there aren't excited for it.
But are you? If it comes out on a Sunday, what are you going to do? Are you going to watch the Jets first and then go see it, or?
Well, it never comes out on a Sunday.
I'm just trying to create conversation for the radio. Gotta voice it a little bit. I know you're really excited about Aaron Rodgers and everything, and and did you draft Kirk Cousins in your fantasy league? By the way, Garrett was talking about.
I did not.
Okay.
The last show we had, you brought him up. And I said, in fantasy, I would take him because he puts up numbers, and he does.
That's 2 weeks in a row you've said that Kirk Cousins puts up numbers.
He does. I don't think that's groundbreaking, earth-shattering news.
All right, I'm just saying. Hey.
But
the Ryan Powers in me is a little excited.
Well,
if I had a scarab, it would say blood is rushing to your midsection region.
That was funny.
I like the scarab. Yeah, dude, I'm all about the scarab. Like, I'm kind of bummed that people like Reno didn't go see Blue Beetle.
Well, there's plenty of time. It's still in the theater.
He's like, look, Blue Beetle. Nobody go see it. Jack Fandango empty. Look, Blade Runner. Nobody go see with me. But there's one person to the zero. American comic book movie. Stupid. You're done. Like, oh, geez, Reno. Like, I thought you liked these things. Reno, me like what I like. Like, okay.
Apparently,
here's your
Blue
croissant.
Beetle. Apparently, it made up only about 40 million worldwide or something like that.
What was the budget?
109 million, I think.
Okay.
So
plus marketing. How does that? What does that equation go? It's like you take the budget, then you multiply it by what? It's usually what the marketing is. Isn't it like 2 or 3? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right about that.
It's like rough multiplier. Don't quote me on
that.
Yeah.
I think that's what that means.
It's like some stupid formula.
The weird thing about it, well, not weird, but the thing that is not shocking to me, but maybe I'm just shocked that I guess more Latino people didn't go see it and Hispanic people didn't go see it. But
the theater was filled with Spanish people.
Yeah, but the cinema score was a B+ for Blue Beetle, but with Latino and Hispanic moviegoers, it was at 90%. And then it was 27% white people. So I mean,
I guess I'm part of that 27%. What percentage were Italian?
So I don't know. And again, I'm not surprised that at those numbers so much. I kind of uh, thought that would have to be the case. And when even we talked about the build up to this film, I said they're going to have to really rely on getting Latino people to watch this movie because they just don't know, right? Like no one knows who it is. So it was going to be a tough thing. But when I read the breakdown and I saw the breakdown, I was really.
I wonder if that's kind of why it's kind of set in Florida, right? Maybe they. I don't know. You think? Because I don't know where Blue Beetle really hails from, to be brutally honest.
Yeah, I mean it's a fictional city, so
I don't know. I remember the Shazam used to take place in Fawcett City, which was named after Fawcett Comics.
Right.
After years, and then they moved into Philadelphia, or Jeff Johns did. So then Billy went to Fawcett High School, at least in the movie.
Right. No, like that was a.
So they take their liberties.
Yeah, I just don't know. I'm trying to. I mean, I could look it up. Obviously, we can get back to you because again, I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just curious because I honestly can't. And don't any of you tell me you're Blue Beetle fans because none of you. I'm sure there are Blue Beetle fans out there, but don't come in the comments like, "How do you not know?" Like, stop it! You didn't either. You didn't even know who he was. If it wasn't for Justice, you'd be just as dumb as me.
It's true. That was the first time I even heard of him.
He's actually one of the best characters in that game too, by the way, because he just can do so many things.
Yes,
I remember, I was like, I have more fun playing with Blue Beetle than I did Green Lantern. Any of them, that include the John Stewart version.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun.
And I definitely saw some of those moves from the game in the movie.
So, yeah,
and the director did say it's actually some of the source material they used for the film. So I imagine the action sequences are probably stolen right from NetherRealm Studios.
Yeah, when he was using the suit to some of its capabilities, I was even thinking, I'm like, yeah, that was in the game. I remember.
Yeah, like the hand cannon looked just like the hand cannon from the game.
Yep, it was something I could relate to for that. It was something one of the things I could relate to.
He's one of the more fun characters in the game. I love playing with him.
So.
That was really when that was my first time I fell in love with Blue Beetle as Injustice. Injustice 2, right? I think it's Injustice 2.
2, yeah, it's the second one.
Mm-hmm.
That game is so big.
It's still fun to play. I still play it.
It is fun to play. I agree. All right, so we've talked about in the past about humor in films, and we've been talking about humor in Blue Beetle, because there is a good amount of it, and it's very well done and well placed throughout the film. But there was an article in Collider that talked specifically about DC to stop making their movies and their heroes funny. I'm not going to read the article for everybody. If you guys want to, you can go check it out. But they focus mostly on Black Adam and The Flash. And The Flash, yes, I can definitely see the argument that they make there. I didn't think Black Adam had a lot of humor.
It was... for the humor in Black Adam, I thought worked for me because it was dry. Like, tell them the men in black, and then like, or,
right.
like, oh, that's sarcasm again. Yes, or like him trying to learn sarcasm. Like, again, you're talking to someone who really liked Black Adam.
I do.
So the movie worked for me in a lot of places. Again, it's like very similar to Blue Beetle, aside from the worthless villain that's just there for the big fight scene. Right? Like, actually, they're
that's exactly the same. Yes.
Yeah. So like, I don't have a problem with the humor in Black Adam. In The Flash, if you want to say younger Barry was slightly more annoying, then I'll give you that. But I think he was supposed to. That's kind of the whole point. That's what led to the big blow up in the cave between the two Barrys.
Right.
So again, I thought that worked. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you wanted to attack a movie about DC humor, then it would probably be Fury of the Gods, and you'd probably have to take a Daddy Bat stance where you didn't like what Levi was doing.
Yeah,
I think you have that gripe too.
Yeah, I didn't like it in the first film either. It's one of the things that bothered me about the first Shazam movie.
But I don't know, like I don't think that putting the humor in the movie is bad. It's just that when it's forced, and I guess it's just tough to figure out what someone thinks is forced humor and not. Like, I think Justice League humor is forced. Justice League 17, that humor can be somewhat forced.
Yes.
But, like, when Joker is like taunting Gamble and about this purple suit, and he's like, "Well, you ought to know, you bought it," like that's funny humor to me, because
Right.
that's like it's a good jab. So it all depends. Everyone's different.
Yeah, I didn't like reading the article. I was trying to think of key parts of the films, and he goes through some of them, but I was trying to think of key moments in any of those films where I was like, wow, that was really bad. There maybe some stuff in The Flash. There are a few things here and there. I was like, yeah, that probably didn't need to be there. But and Levi's just
let's go. Come on, Barbie, let's go party seems to be the one thing I hear a lot of people complain about.
Right, that's one of them.
It's a dumb line.
It's dumb. A lot of people have problems with the opening sequence in The Flash.
I can't. I'm sorry. No, shut up. If you're going to complain about the babies, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not.
So, I mean, and again, I don't think that's forced. I think he was trying to set up the film in a way with that. So to me, it was like, okay, it was an interesting way to do it, but I thought it was well done. So it didn't bother me. But yeah, Shazam would probably be the one. And it's just because I don't love how over the top Levi goes with trying to prove that, yes, he's a teenager. That to me, it's just too much. And so that's the one thing I would agree with. But I mean, I always say this about these films. If they're too serious, you're going to lose people at certain times. So you got to strike a balance, right? You have to have a good balance where these characters seem human. We all are funny. Human beings are funny, period. Whether you have a good sense of humor or a bad sense of humor, there's something funny in each person on this planet. So I think humor is relatable and it should be in films. Like you said, deciding whether it's forced or not, that really depends on the person watching it.
Sometimes I think the MCU can be maybe a little bit too repetitive with humor in certain films. There's
after 20 something now it's probably close to 30 movies. Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't think that the later movies have really been part of it. There's an era in the MCU, I think somewhere more towards the middle, maybe like some end of like phase 2, mostly like phase 3, where there's like, I feel like a lot of jokes, people complain about jokes a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely like a jokey section of the MCU where I think they had to get straightened out, where it was too much. And I'm not talking about like, oh, I understand that reference. Like maybe it starts around Age of Ultron probably and kind of goes into a little bit of that phase, the phase that follows that movie. But yeah, I remember a lot of people complaining about, the humor. But like there's certain things, like I think certain characters can do humor different ways. Like we've seen numerous takes on the Joker, whereas we could all say Nicholson's Joker of let's say like of the Warner Brothers films is clearly like the classic funny Joker.
Yes.
Heath's Joker's a little crazier, a little scarier. Leto's Joker's a little bit more kind of cracked out, right? And drug dealer type. And then you have the psychopath that is, what's his face? Phoenix. And then Barry, we don't know much about Barry yet. So I can't say nothing about Barry other than Justin hates his look, like everything else. But yeah, so like, like that character itself, he can do funny so many different ways, Yeah. From Jack like farting down the hallway to pencil trick, like,
right.
So it all depends, but like, I don't know, like they're not comedies, but if you're making a comedy, then I get it. But if it's an action flick, like, everyone laughs at yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Like, it's just, like it happens in Die Hard.
Right. My whole thing with humor is if it's in a movie and it takes you out of a scene, then it's bad. If all you remember from a specific scene in a film is the bad joke, then yes, then that joke shouldn't have been there. That's how I look at it. And it's very rare that happens for me.
To be honest, I feel the same way about CGI sometimes.
Oh yeah, I'm with you too.
Like in Blue Beetle, when they're doing the Amazing Spider-Man scene, and it's all CGI except for the girl on the front desk. Like this is a little rough.
Yeah. But
that's fine. But it's a quick shot, and then you move on to the rest of the movie, and you realize how much you like it. Like, not every movie's perfect. Like, how many movies honestly are perfect? Like Jaws. You can't even say The Godfather, right? Because then you go all Kowalski and say Sonny missed Carlo on the stoop, so he's missed punch. You can't say it's a perfect film,
I don't know. To me, that's a pretty close to a perfect movie.
If you miss a punch in a movie, it's bad. Remember that. That's the rule.
but that's whatever. I
That's
don't
the
agree.
rule. In California, that's the rule. That's where they make movies. That's the rule.
So you guys let us know what you think. This is a topic that we literally could probably do a show on its own. So you guys let us know what you think about humor in film, in superhero films. And you could even like get as targeted as much as like specific characters if you want. Say, yeah, it works
Specific
with this one.
scenes, details,
Yep.
YouTube clips.
You could do that too. Yeah. Just let us
Feet
know what you
pictures.
think. I think that's a good I think it's a good topic for open discussion. So I think that'd be something fun to hear what other people have to say. The article specifically mentions James Gunn doing humor, and yes, I mean a lot of his films have humor in them. That's what he does.
He also
Obviously,
does dark humor, dirty.
Yes, dark humor, right? Dark, dirty. Guardians of the Galaxy, and then that was one specific kind of humor, and then you have the Suicide Squad, which was dark and dirty, like you said.
Well, look at like something like Slither. That's
right.
got a lot of dark humor as well. You know, like,
yeah. I was trying to keep it just to the genre.
Oh well,
yeah.
I would just say like but that's his style.
Yes, that's his style.
It's in all even a movie like he produces, like the Belko Experiment. There's dark humor in that.
Yes,
that's just the guy. That's what the guy does, and I like that because he's twisted like me.
Yes, I agree. But he is making, as we know, Superman Legacy is the first film in the new DCU, and everyone assumed that when he decided not to keep Henry Cavill, that he was going with a younger Superman. So someone asked him this specifically, and he said, "Wait, not so fast." He said, "I'm not making a young Superman." He said, "I'm just making a Superman movie that's focusing on the early stages of his career, earlier part of his life." So, I mean, I guess how you read that I thought so too. I think a lot of us thought that he was going to go with a much younger Superman.
He's 10 years younger.
But yeah, the actor, yes, is 10 years younger. Corrin Sweat is 30. So yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I guess that's cool, but then it makes sense that it's not, because he said that this was not an origin story, right? So it makes sense in that regard.
I kind of took it as this is like, for lack of a better term, the Batman of Superman, right? Whereas it's year 2, it's year 3, like he just started putting on the cape, right? Like he's been at this maybe for a couple years, handful,
right.
not too many, the early stages of his career. So like, again, this is the thing. I think people just get caught up in semantics. Like, yes, he's a younger Superman. No, he's not Superman starting out on the second day of the job.
Right.
It's somewhere in the middle. Like, and it's like, this is where I think James Gunn kind of gets himself into a little bit of trouble, because he's like, I'm going to be clear and transparent, and I'm going to answer all the idiots that ever say something to me. And it's like, dude, just do me a favor and concentrate on the movie. Like, exactly. Even though he probably is, maybe it's his day off and he's sitting in, I don't know, a Wendy's parking lot eating French fries, just trolling. If he's doing that, then God bless him. Well, but like, I mean, I don't know. You don't have to be transparent with me, man. Like, you told me not to talk about this, but it's like the Yankees, dude. I'm going on Wednesday because they're playing the Nationals. They both suck. Thursday, the game's at 1:00, and I'm going to sit as low to the field as I possibly can, because when they're good, I can't afford it. So I'm going to take advantage of a bad baseball team, and I'm going to sit behind the plate, or at least section 216.
Oh man, it's been a really long summer with the Yankees. That's all I can say. I don't.
Every loss knocks about $5 off the price of that ticket on StubHub.
That's good for you then. Yeah,
I cannot wait. But dude, I may sit in section 114 for the time Tuesday. I haven't bought the tickets yet. I'm waiting. I'll probably buy them tomorrow. I'm waiting for the lowest possible price. So I'll probably end up buying them Monday or Tuesday. But yeah. I'm going Thursday, and I'm going to sit as low as I possibly can.
Good for you. Seriously. And plus, he's got some good eats there, so it's a good place to go get some food.
Not waiting in line for that Judge Burger, but you bet your ass I will be down the third base line for LaBelle's steak sandwich.
Yeah, right. Good call. Good call.
I still haven't been to Shea yet this year. I haven't gone yet. I got to get out there at least once.
They have good food choices there too.
It's a nice ballpark. It's cute.
It's a very nice ballpark.
It is. It's nice. It's not Yankee Stadium. It's Ebbets
It's much
Field.
more fan. It's much more fan friendly, I think.
I don't know what that means. Like what does that mean? What does that mean? Explain that to me.
There's stuff There's stuff for kids to do, like there.
There's an entire section
During the
in
game.
the 400s for children with baseball fields and everything.
Yeah,
there's literally an entire upper deck in Yankee Stadium for the kids.
Yeah, but no one uses it. No one goes.
I saw them. I saw kids. I sat in for 15 last 4th of July with my brother. We walked around. We had a rain delay. There were kids playing in that thing all day. My dog's here.
Hello, Bella.
It's a little swap this time, huh?
Yes.
A little dog swap.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's like I hate when people say that about Yankee Stadium. Like, should it feel as a real ballpark?
It's a museum.
I was like, yeah, because it is.
I like Pete. I like both of them. I just have more fun in City
into
Field.
Shea Stadium and they hit you with a Dodger. It's a Dodger.
Okay, this is not the topic for this show.
It's our show. If they don't want to listen, they can hit skip and fast forward. You say something dumb, and I'm gonna needle it. Like, what do you mean, fan friendly? Like, there's not a million bad. Like, you can't stand and eat food in Yankee Stadium. Like, you're like pushed up against the wall. It makes no sense.
Well, they do make you sit.
Fan friendly.
You don't, and at Citi Field, you don't have to sit down. You could just walk around in the back and hang out, and you don't have to sit in your seats.
What do you mean don't sit?
The Yankee Stadium, they make you sit. Like, you have to find your seat.
Yeah, you can't sit at the bar that goes around the stadium because that's somebody's seat.
That's what I'm saying. No. This is not, again, I don't want to talk about this. This is not a good topic for the show.
Sometimes you complain about the most Kowalski things. It drives me crazy.
I'm not complaining.
You just did.
You asked me what
You just complained you couldn't sit in somebody else's seat and eat your food.
All right, forget it. This is a stupid conversation. So let's move on. Let's move forward.
Stephen A. Smith of Long Island, everyone.
Let's go. Let's continue. Let's go back to superheroes and fun stuff like that because that's what people want to talk about. Eric
actually hates superheroes. He'd much rather talk about sports.
I like both. But on our last show, we had heard and we had talked about Gal Gadot had spoken about her being involved in Wonder Woman 3 and that she was going to work on developing it with Peter Safran and James Gunn. Then we get a story saying that, well, no, that's not exactly happening. True, because there's nothing in development. Now, I need to pause here and defend her and say she never said they were currently developing a movie. She just said that they would be if once they get things going, they're going to develop the third film. It didn't say it was in active development, didn't address that at all. So when I read this, I'm like, why can't people just let's let people be happy with this news for a little while before you have to come and piss on it, right? Like, I don't know. What did you think? Did you think how I thought that she just said that they're going to work on developing, not that it was in development?
To me, that means the same thing. Like they're talking about making a movie. They're talking about where Wonder Woman fits in this universe. They're talking about what they can do. That's what, she wants. Right. Whether it's they're not actively on the lot being like, okay, we're going to put a giant waterfall over there and a green mountain with them. Like, they're not doing that, but to me, this sounds like they are having conversations. That's what she said. That's how I interpreted her words. We are having conversations on what to do with Wonder Woman because I'm involved. That's how I know about what's going on. Right. So that's why she did. But to me, that means that the movie is, in development. I mean, we've seen other movies just been released with a title and it's in development and then it goes to development to hell. And, when a movie's in development, it can be in development for years. That's how I interpret it.
Yeah, I didn't take it that way. I just took it, when I read it, I was like, all right, she's going to be involved. Whenever they decide to do this, she's going to be involved. And I didn't look at it as it would be now. Like, okay, they're working on it now and we're going to hear about it, a date for the film in like 3-4 months. I didn't take it that way. So I guess it's perception, right? I guess it's how you read it. I don't think she would have said that though if she wasn't involved. What would that have done? So I don't know.
Just get people talking about it.
Yeah, but what does she care?
Maybe she's on. Why? Because she needs to pay her bills too, and she needs acting roles to do it.
No, but why would she care to say that?
Because it generates publicity. It gets people talking about it.
I mean, why would she say it if she wasn't involved?
Because maybe she wants to be involved. Maybe she's not involved. Maybe she's trying to generate that PR train.
Why would she mention both of their names in a public interview and say that they told?
Well, who else is she going to name? Walter Hamada?
I just mean it doesn't make any sense for her to put herself interject herself into this if she's really didn't have discussions with them to be in it. That doesn't make any sense to me. So
I don't know. To me,
this is how my brain works.
To me, it's just her getting her name out there, seeing if people bite on this and if people really want it. Like, I don't know. It seemed like there was a lot of buzz. Oh, everyone's really happy. Gal's coming back. Wonder Woman 3. Like, it's going to, in some capacity. And then everyone was excited. Now they're like, hold on. That's not really what's going on. Then everyone's all upset. And like, well, people still really like her as Wonder Woman, even though some aspects have crashed and burned. Maybe that was the whole point of it. Maybe she's like, hey, look, I am still a big deal as Wonder Woman. Like, there's no need to recast it. Like, she's just, again, putting her name out there. Because, again, in Hollywood, if people aren't talking about you, you might as well be dead.
That's fair. So,
well,
I guess we'll see, guys. I guess we'll still see what's going to happen there. This changing of the guard has been quite interesting.
It's just funny because everyone's like, reboot this. This trade's a liar. They have an agenda. I don't believe this. I don't believe it. It's like, oh God.
Right, and I'm not saying the reporter's wrong. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just talking about fan reactions. Like, oh God, you guys got bills to pay.
Yeah, that's true.
you guys must be nice to worry about this shit.
Well, we are getting more Godzilla. And we had a first look of it's going to be an Apple TV show. So I think that's I don't know.
That's already limiting.
Yeah, it's kind of limiting, right? But we'll see.
Although that Severance show is doing very good, apparently.
That's true. But it's titled Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. Godzilla's going to be part of the series. Kurt Russell and his son are both in the movie, and Wyatt Russell, who is also Agent USA from Marvel, so you guys might know him from there. Who else did I see is going to be in this? Sorry. Oh, Kiersey Clemens.
Oh, gosh. The last time I saw her, I thought she was the worst part of the movie.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think of the actors in this that people would recognize.
Are you excited for this? I think I'm Godzilla out. I mean, I need more Kong, to be honest. I'm still all about King Kong. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't
know if Kurt Russell can do this for me.
I'll give it a shot. I guess that's the way I'm approaching it right now.
You have Apple TV?
I don't, but I have access to the shows, so.
Okay, black market Holzman. You need a kidney real quick? Cadillac converter? What is it? Catalytic converter? Call Eric.
Nice.
What's that? New tires? Buy one, Eric. Get you 3 for free.
Oh, no. I just know people who have access to
stereos that fall off the back of a truck. You need one?
Television shows. And I could get them without having to have Apple TV or any service, actually.
Champion of Long Island.
Yeah. Holler at your boy. Anyway, so I haven't seen. I know X-Men 97 was on Disney Plus, but I hadn't seen it.
I haven't. I didn't even know it came out.
Yeah, it's been. Apparently, it has been there.
Do you know what else actually came out that we have not talked about?
What?
It's flown over our heads.
What?
Harley Quinn's new season. Apparently,
it has. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either. I was like, wait a second. Like, where was the announcement?
Yeah,
that it's back. Like, I was like, I've been dying to watch this. I might watch it after the show.
Yeah, well, they already have a second season underway with X-Men 97. So it's a revival of obviously the famous 1992 show that everyone loves with the theme song that everyone loves. Right? So, yeah. So apparently the season 2 is already happening. So
I'll have to give that I honestly did not even know season 1 came out.
I think it did. Maybe it didn't. I could be wrong.
But if
this says ahead of debut, so yeah, it hasn't come out.
Okay,
yet.
great.
Fault.
So I didn't miss it. I was like,
you did not miss it.
2 Harley Quinns is too much. I'm excited for this. I don't even like X-Men, but like this is my version of the X-Men. So I want to check this out because I'm like, will they revive the Fox Spider-Man show? Can we finish that? Can we? Is that a possibility? Could they finish that? Like they never did. They kind of left on.
I know they could. I guess
so.
They could.
We'll see what happens. Or even the old Fantastic Four.
I don't think I watched that one.
Oh, dude, it's so good. There was that old Marvel like animated universe, like Iron Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man. So good. So good.
All right. Well, yeah, I didn't know. I do remember the Spider-Man show, and yes, that was good. I don't remember the Fantastic Four. I don't know.
No, it was there. It was definitely more obscure because it's Fantastic Four, but
that's true. Well, we're at the end of the ride on this one.
Oh, the old Holzman Midnight Ride.
So you can remove the shoulder harness
before we end things.
Yeah.
I excited you for the Jets. You got to be a little excited. I saw you wear your green T-shirt today. This
is my Batman on Film Fantasy Football T-shirt.
I saw you wore your green football T-shirt.
So
you get excited. You get excited. You starting making fun of Giants fans yet?
No, I don't do that. I don't.
Not yet.
I always temper my expectations with the Jets because I've been a Jet fan far too long to believe anything could be good for long with us. So I temper my expectations.
Are you excited? Are you excited?
I do like the talent level. I'm not going to lie. So I'm excited to see how it comes together, but I'm not making any predictions. I'm not saying they're going to win the division. I'm not going any.
Because word on the street is the O-line is pretty bad.
It's not bad.
They haven't
played their starters yet.
Okay. I've heard people compare it to the Giants O-line with Eli. And I was like, oh, these are bad. That's not good. So, but at least Rodgers is mobile.
They haven't.
Mobile.
3/5 of it hasn't even played yet.
Okay.
So yeah. So it's hard to
really
say there. But the depth might be an issue. So that's something to see. Wait and see if someone gets hurt.
Is Michael Orr still available? I know he's having a little legal problems.
Yo, that story is crazy.
Yeah,
the story is crazy.
It's a good movie. You watched the movie, right?
I love the movie, but now it kind of has a different.
Yeah, it's like, oh, is this true? It's like I know Hollywood takes its liberty. Oh, the whole movie they took liberties. It actually didn't happen this way.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I never take one side of the story. I need to hear both of them, and I need to know their side as well. I think the timing of this whole thing is a little weird to me when he decided to do this, but again, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. But it's unfortunate if it is true what he claims, then that's very unfortunate and very sad.
Yeah.
So
I want to hear what Sandra Bullock has to say.
Yeah, I haven't heard any of the cast from the movie comment.
They're not going to comment.
They're probably being told not to.
I bet you they don't even care, to be honest.
I think they do.
You think they do?
Especially Sandra Bullock. She won that movie won her Oscar.
Yeah, but for her performance in the film, it doesn't have to be accurate.
It doesn't matter. You have to study these people. You go talk to these people. You meet these people. You hang out with these people to learn how they are.
You guys have to. Eric's a method actor, like Jared Leto. He once sent me a dead fox, half-eaten bubblegum wrapper, and a cut-up used condom, like Jared Leto did to Suicide Squad. He sent me that for my birthday.
You're funny. You're a funny guy.
And a picture of Reno in a frame.
What?
Yeah, sorry. I have this picture of Reno in a frame from Eric. Like, weird.
Okay. I don't know about all that, but okay.
You sent it, all right?
Hey, it was part of the process I was in at the time. What do you want me to say?
That's it. Eric's a method actor when he does the process, So
right.
When you go see Aquaman in theaters and Aquaman 2
in December,
December 2027, you'll see all the hard work Eric put into the movie.
Yeah, who knows, right? Who knows now?
Yeah,
I have
that's
no
it.
idea.
After Warner Brothers has replaced Jason Momoa scene for scene with Eric.
Yeah.
So Jason can prepare for his Lobo movie.
It's going to go from making $1 billion to $1 million.
Well, based on your salary for the film, they'll actually be saving money. Eric donated it to the movie. He's because he wants to get this filmed, right? You know, the true story of the true Aquaman.
You're funny.
I'm just a man.
All right. Tell them where they can find you, Pete.
You could find me all over social media. That's Twitter. What's left? Is it even? Oh, I guess it's X. X now. Mastodon dead. Threads dead.
Threads is dead.
No one uses it.
It's true. That's a good point.
It's dead. Vine dead. MySpace dead. LiveJournal dead. They're all dead. It's all Twitter now. Twitter and Facebook. Anyway, at Pete Illustrated. You can follow this podcast listening to right now, straight _O_ G on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook group and Facebook fan page that you guys know about that Eric loves to post his food pics there. And we love it because he's our own little Emerald. Eric Holzman, Emerald Live. That's what that sounds like a restaurant we can open. Holzman Live. I like it. Every food picture is what's on the menu.
On Instagram, yes.
Yeah, that's our menu. Our menu is going to be your Instagram. I'm such a goddamn genius. I will be broke no longer. At Team Yellow Oval, BatmanOnFilm.com, Batman on Film YouTube, comic book reviews, toy reviews, all that stuff over there. Batman on Film podcast, check that out. We haven't trying to get one in with Haas, but timing's been difficult. So trying to do that, and then probably have to do a Blue Beetle show for that as well, because got to get Ryan Lauer's perspective of the Batman Book Club. And I'm also on the Batman Book Club, so check that out. And every once in a while, I pop over Eric's house and I mow his lawn. So Eric, why don't you take it away?
Mow my lawn?
Well, the backyard, the side streets, make it look nice. You're a busy man out there on the oceans.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway, yeah, you guys can find me on X. That sounds so stupid, but you can find me on X.
The website's twitter.com. I'm never changing it, right?
Yeah, it's still Twitter. At Finally33, spell Finale 33. Peter already mentioned the show. At Straight _O_ G for the show handle. You can hit us up there if you want to talk about anything that we talk about on the show. Don't forget, again, Facebook. We have our group. We have our page. The group is where I post things like the video, my car reviews after I see a movie. So if you want to be a part of the group and you're not yet, definitely go there. Ask
have we come up with a name for the show yet? Is it just in the car?
That's what I just call it. Yeah, in the car. So, but yep, it's only about. I only usually do about 5 minutes. That's about tops. I don't try not to go any longer.
That's what she said.
But yeah.
Holds him on.
Check that out, guys. Check it out over there. The Facebook group. Love talking to you, you peeps in there. A lot of interaction going on. So
what do you mean, you peeps?
Yeah, the peeps.
Whoa.
As well as you guys know, I do a New York Knicks live stream every Wednesday night at 8:30 Eastern time called All Nicked Up. So if you're into the New York Knicks, you can check that out as well. I also have a Twitter handle for that. It's at all _nicked_up. So to interact with me there about the Knicks and anything in basketball. Because
when is the first game that you're going to?
I don't even know if I'm going to any. But
really, that's sad.
I usually don't. The tickets are too expensive, and as much as I like them and I'm a fan, they've priced me out. The tickets for like terrible seats are expensive.
Really?
Yes, I draw the line there. So unless a bunch of us got together. No, I don't.
You don't go to see the Knicks play the Nets at Barclays? Aren't those tickets cheaper?
No, because they're playing the Knicks. So
sounds like you got to go. I guess you got to go all the way down. Philly has reasonable price tickets.
Yeah,
it might be a bit of a drive for you, but it's worth it.
Well, yeah, one of my friends lives there. One of the guys who used to be on the show actually lives there, so we could probably do that as a trip. But yeah, I haven't been to a Knicks game in I can't even remember the last time. Probably like 10 years or so.
That's kind of how I was with the Devils last year. I went to a playoff game. It was my first game. I didn't go to a game all season, but I can't remember the last. Like since COVID, I can't remember the last time I went to a game. I was kind of like, whoa.
I don't know.
Even first Yankee game I went to 4th of July this year. I looked at my brother's like, we haven't been here in like 4 years. That's weird.
It is. It's weird. Yeah, COVID, obviously, you have to take those 2 years out completely, but
I can't because they still play the season.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
weird.
That's true.
It's not like the season got canceled. Like they
Well,
still
we weren't
play
allowed to
games.
go 1 year. You weren't. No fans were allowed
For
to.
more like it was more like a year and a half, I think, and then they did like the 15, 20, 25, you know. They
Yeah.
started doing it in increments.
Yeah. But
So
yep.
no, it's weird. That's why I'm like, the team sucks. I'm still going. I've been here once in like 5 years. Like I've got to make up for
I don't blame
time.
you, man. I really don't. I don't blame you at all.
There are worse things to be doing than taking a day off from work and sitting in the sun watching baseball all day.
Yeah, I mean, if you like the game, it's still one of the better tickets to get in sports is going to a baseball game. So I agree. Well,
That's it.
That's it. We're at the end of the road for this one. So unless you have any more comments,
just final E33 at onlyfans.com for the feet pics.
All right, there you go. I'm out. I have nothing else. So
he's done.
I'm done.
Down goes Holzman. Down goes Holzman.
So for Pete, I'm Eric. You're listening to Straight Outta Gotham, and we'll see you next time.
Booyah!